Hey everyone, welcome to Common Nutrition Myths Debunked. So I'm so happy that so many of you are here. Before we begin, here's a little bit about me. I am a integrative health and nutrition coach, nutrition health coach, as well as a certified personal trainer. Been doing this since 2019. I got certified in health and wellness coaching, life and wellness coaching back in 2018, and then got certified in personal training. And while training, noticed that a lot of my clients needed coaching as well outside of the realm of personal training. And so I went ahead and got certified in integrative nutrition health coaching to be able to provide a little bit more to my clients and be able to step a little bit outside of that original realm of what you can do as a personal trainer and kind of have a broader scope of practice. All right, now let's get to it. What to believe. When it comes to nutrition, knowing what to eat, how much, and how often can be so confusing. We're constantly bombarded with media, headlines, and advertisements about the latest trends, but these messages don't always have our health in mind, right? What's one of the nutrition messages you've heard and were surprised by recently? I want you to sit and think about that for a moment. Let's talk about the first myth. All calories are created equal. How many of you have heard this? Sorry to tell you, but they aren't. This is because the body uses and stores calories differently depending on the nutrients each food is comprised of. In order to understand why calories differ, let's take a look at different nutrients and how the body handles them. So let's look at the calories in our food. You may have heard the foods as being described in terms of density. This refers to different nutrients having more or fewer calories packed into the same weight, making them higher or lower calorie density. Calories in foods are grouped as fats, alcohol, carbohydrates, and proteins. Nutrition labels in the US use these rules of thumbs. 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. 1 gram of alcohol has 7 calories. 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. 1 gram of carbs has 4 calories. 1 gram of fiber, estimated by the USDA and US Food and Drug Administration, to be 1.5 calories, while fiber is a carb. It is not easily digested by the body. So this is why eating 300 calories of chicken is not the same as eating 300 calories of cake. Myth number 2, carbs make you fat. I'm sure that most of you have heard this one. In fact, many popular diets are based on the myth that carbs make us fat. In reality, carbs aren't the enemy, but there are different types of carbs you should be aware of. Let's take a closer look at carbohydrates so you can learn how to distinguish the good from the bad. Okay, carbs or carbohydrates are one of the macronutrients. Fat and protein are the others. The primary function of macronutrients is to provide the body with energy. Dietary carbs can be split into 3 main categories. The first is sugar, sweet short-chain carbs found in foods. Examples are glucose, fructose, galactose, and sucrose. Starches, long chains of glucose molecules, which eventually get broken down into glucose in the digestive system. And the third is fiber. Humans cannot digest fiber, although the bacteria in the digestive system can make use of some of them. The problem with carbs is when they're consumed in excess, the body turns them into fat to store as a reserve energy source. Not all carbs are created equal. Carbs are often referred to as simple or complex, or whole or refined. Whole carbs are generally considered healthy because they are unprocessed and contain the fiber found naturally in food. These include vegetables, whole fruits, legumes, potatoes, and whole grains. Whole food sources of carbohydrates are also commonly loaded with nutrients. Refined carbs, on the other hand, include sugar-sweetened beverages, fruit juices, pastries, white bread, white pasta, white rice, and others. These carbs are highly processed, meaning the natural fiber is removed and have been associated with health problems like obesity and type 2 diabetes. Additionally, refined carbs are generally lacking in essential nutrients that we need for our daily lives. Just in case you're still a little unclear on which carbs are good for you and which are not, here's a list. Good carbs, vegetables, all of them. It's best to eat a variety of vegetables every day. Whole fruits, apples, bananas, strawberries, raspberries. The list goes on and on and on. Legumes, lentils, kidney beans, peas. Again, the list goes on and on. Nuts, almonds, walnuts, hazelnuts, macadamia nuts, peanuts. Goes on. Chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, seeds in general, whole grains. Choose grains that are truly whole, as in pure oats, quinoa, brown rice, so on and so forth. Bad carbs, sugary drinks, soda, vitamin water, fruit juice, Gatorade. Again, the list goes on. White bread. These are refined carbs that are low in essential nutrients and bad for metabolic health, which applies to most commonly commercially available bread. Pastries, cookies, cakes. Again, very high in sugar and refined wheat. Ice cream. Most types of ice cream high in sugar, but there are some exceptions. Candies and chocolates. If you're going to eat chocolate, choose quality dark chocolate. French fries and potato chips. Whole potatoes are healthy, but French fries and potato chips are not. They're fried, and they've added to them, right? So again, not healthy. Myth number 3, healthy food is more expensive. Okay, this one is a little bit tricky. It depends on how you look at the cost. When considering the overall cost of your health, it's clear that processed foods are more expensive. Filling your cart with fresh produce versus cheap frozen and boxed meals can create a difference in your weekly grocery budget. However, the few bucks you save purchasing unhealthy foods will end up costing you more in the long run. What we use to fuel our body determines how efficiently we burn energy, from feeling sluggish and fatigued all day to treating conditions associated with being overweight or even the lost wages of being sick. All affect our bottom line. Spending a little more on healthier foods will save you more money on healthcare costs. Countless reports have found how we eat impacts health, and spending a little more on healthy food can drastically reduce healthcare costs over time. Tips for eating healthy on a budget. Here are some tips to help you keep your grocery bill down while eating healthier. First, ask yourself, what is the most expensive thing you buy? For many, the answer will either be meat or dairy. By purchasing less of these items, you can use the found money to use on fresh produce. This will also contribute to a healthier diet overall. Okay, if you're worried about protein, beans, quinoa, and eggs are cheaper than meat products. Swapping some of your meat-heavy meals with plant-based alternatives can help you keep costs down. If you have a pantry filled with cookies and chips, reallocate that money to the produce section. Look for local and seasonal produce. I'll guarantee you'll be spending too much on out-of-season produce. This means you'll have to alter your diet slightly according to what is in season. Shop discounted stores for produce. In this case, produce may have a slightly shorter storage time, which means you'll simply need to prepare and consume food sooner rather than later. Reduce food waste. If you're constantly throwing away food, figure out why. Is food going bad, or are you simply making too much? Buying and preparing the right amounts will help you cut down on the costs. Another thing to look into is a lot of times, depending on where you live, there are some seasonal farms that you're able to go to and buy for like an annual fee. I've mentioned this in another video that I did. I can't remember which one, but actually I did. In the beginner's guide to going vegan, I mentioned some of the different options you have for getting produce at kind of a discounted rate. And I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but you're able to, it's like a farmers group where you can go and get fruits that are in season from a local farm. And yes, you pay an annual fee, but then you're able to go and get every so often for that annual fee that you pay, which again helps. Myth number 4, gluten-free is the way to go. The fad of going gluten-free has exploded recently. The fact is, only 1% of the population has a genetic condition called celiac disease. People with this condition must avoid gluten at all costs. The only way to determine a true gluten allergy is with medical testing. People with celiac disease need to ditch the gluten. It's not necessary for the rest of us. So if you suspect gluten is causing you discomfort, try an elimination diet. Just know that gluten-free foods are not automatically healthier. In fact, gluten substitutes may actually increase calorie content and contribute to weight gain. Low-fat foods are better for you. When trying to watch our weight, the low-fat option may seem to be the way to go, but your good intention may actually leave you worse off. Low-fat is often synonymous with loaded with salt and cheap carbs. As you'll remember, a high intake of carbs can be stored in the body as fat. This will inevitably lead to weight gain despite your best intention to reduce your fat intake. You're better off getting the full fat version and using less of it. Myth number 6, yogurt is good for bacteria in your belly. This one is actually true, but only for yogurt containing active cultures. Unfortunately, most yogurt products are loaded with sugar, causing more harm than good. In fact, the added sugar promotes unhealthy gut bacteria growth. Lactobacillus acidophilus is the bacteria you want to look for in yogurt. Your best bet is to purchase plain yogurt and add your own flavor with berries or honey and cinnamon. Take a look at your yogurt. If it doesn't state live active cultures on the label, stop buying it. You're actually eating a dessert disguised as a healthy option. Myth 7, egg yolks raise your cholesterol. There has been much debate about the health of eggs over the years, and the verdict is in. Eggs are healthy. While it's true that egg yolks contain dietary cholesterol, research has proven that dietary cholesterol has almost nothing to do with your blood cholesterol levels. Eggs are one of the healthiest foods you can eat. One egg has 75 calories, but 7 grams of high-quality protein, along with iron, vitamins, minerals, and carotenoids. The egg is noted as a powerhouse of disease-fighting nutrients like lutein and zeaxanthin. So skip the egg white only breakfast and include the yolk. Myth number 8, organic produce is more nutritious. Here's the truth about buying organic. Spending the extra buck on organic fruits and vegetables may help you dodge pesticides, but there's no convincing evidence that the conventional and organic produce are different in nutritional composition. If you're concerned about the quality of your produce but can't afford the price or organic, opt instead for locally grown and seasonal items. Chances are these items will have less chemical exposure when foods don't have far to travel. They can be harvested closer to the time they're likely to be eaten, and ensuring optimal nutritional content. If you are concerned about the number of pesticides, then take a look at the Dirty Dozen list. Purchase those organic, but everything else, like the Clean 15, you can purchase without it being organic. If you want these resources, please feel free to reach out to me via email. I can get those over to you. It's best to eat many small meals throughout the day. There have been claims that eating small, frequent meals throughout the day can help increase your metabolism. Sorry to say, there's no evidence to back up this claim. The truth is, whether you eat 2 to 3 meals a day or 5 to 6 smaller meals, the outcome has the same effect on total calories burned. Eating small meals throughout the day may help curb your appetite by preventing excessive hunger, but the benefits stop there. People who work out need extra protein. This may be true for Olympic and professional athletes, but the average person does not need to consume additional protein when working out. Most of us are already consuming more than what is recommended. The average person consumes 77.5 grams of protein in a day. That's 146% of the dietary reference intake for a 145-pound adult. Let's look at how much you need. Protein, like carbs and fats, is a macronutrient. According to the National Institutes of Health, a recommended daily allowance for protein intake is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, or 0.36 grams per pound of body weight. However, they also note a healthy diet can consist of 10 to 35% of protein. Here's a summary of the recommendations. Healthy adult individuals, 0.8 grams per kilogram. Pregnant women, 1.1 per kilogram. Lactating women, 1.3 grams per kilogram. Endurance athletes, 1.2 to 1.4 grams per kilogram. High-intensity interval training or stop-and-go sports, 1.4 to 1.7 gram per kilogram. Strength athletes to gain muscle mass, 1.6 to 1.7 gram per kilogram. Strength training to maintain, 1.2 to 1.4 per kilogram. Weight loss calorie restricted diets, again, 1.4 to 1.5 grams per kilogram. Determining your personalized protein needs involves a little math. To start, you need to convert your weight to kilograms. To do this, you multiply your weight in pounds by 0.454. Next, multiply your weight in kilograms by the recommended protein value in grams to obtain your daily protein needs. Here's an example. Say you weigh 140 pounds. Simply multiply 140 by 0.454. This equates to 63.56. A healthy inactive person requires 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Thus, we multiply 63.56 by 0.8 to get 50 grams of protein. If this person is already getting more than 50 grams of protein per day and starts working out, there is no need to increase protein intake. Protein ounce for ounce. Here's a list of common foods and their protein content. 1 ounce or 28 grams of protein equates to the following: 1 ounce of meat, 1 ounce of poultry, 1 ounce of seafood, a quarter cup cooked beans, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, ½ ounce of seeds, a ½ ounce of nuts. You can see how meat consumption can easily put you over your daily intake. A 6-ounce steak equals 168 grams of protein. Myth countdown. I know I've covered a lot of information today. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. Here are the 10 myths we debunked. All calories are created equal. Carbs make you fat. Healthy food is more expensive. Gluten-free is the way to go. Yogurt is good for the bacteria in your belly. Low-fat foods are better for you. Egg yolks raise your cholesterol. Organic produce is more nutritious. It's best to eat many small meals throughout the day. And lastly, people who work out need extra protein. I have a few final tips for you. Eating healthy doesn't have to be complicated, and it's possible on any budget. When planning your trip, and avoid clipping coupons. They are typically only offered for processed items. Take an inventory of what's already in your kitchen before you go shopping to avoid overbuying, which leads to food waste. Shop the perimeter of the store. This is where the healthier items live. The center of the store contains only boxed and processed foods, which should be avoided. Try new recipes or ways of cooking favorite foods. Veggies can be prepared in many ways. Look for local in-season produce. Replace high-fat proteins with plant-based options. I do have a list of resources that I referenced for today's discussion. Healthline, EAPIS.com, Shape.com, ScienceDaily.com, VeryWellFit.com, MarketWatch, Harvard.edu, Celiac.org, the NIH site, MyFitnessPal, and NourishActive.com have all been referenced. If you would like a list of those references, shoot me an email. I can get those over to you. Better health is possible. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know some of the information I provided may take a little time to sink in, so don't hesitate to send me questions over the next few days via email. If you need help building a personalized diet, send me a message and we can work together. If anyone has any questions, please reach out. My email is healthyandfitbyjessica@gmail.com, or you can set up a one-on-one personal appointment, again, via email at healthyandfitbyjessica@gmail.com, or by reaching out to me on my website, healthyandfitbyjessica.com. Either way, I will definitely be more than happy to set up some time one-on-one to go over a few things with you again. I know a lot of people right now, especially with inflation, don't have a lot of extra money to spare, but that is why my pricing to work with me is completely affordable, very low monthly rates. So again, feel free to reach out. We can come up with what your basic needs are and figure out a solution that best works for you. All right, thanks so much and have a great day.